Live from the whose studios are we in anyhow? Traveling East Studios.
We are in the Traveling East Studios, the greatest studios on earth, man.
You know, when you travel around like I do to different stations, I'm in somebody's different studio every week. You know, this is a little confusing sometimes. Hey, you're listening to the MPC show.
I'm not confused.
Well, yeah, because you're always in the Traveling East Studios.
Oh, okay.
That's valid.
Yeah. Hey, I got one for you guys.
Yeah, what do you got?
$400.
Okay.
You got $400 for us?
No, the whole topic is $400. You
Why?
know what $400 is?
What is it?
Apparently an unforeseen failure of our economic system. J.P. Chase Morgan surveyed their customers.
Yeah.
73% of their customers could not take a credit card or their savings and pay a $400 emergency bill.
Really? I'm not surprised, though.
Wow.
The way the economy is, I'm not surprised at all.
So, building back better, I take it?
Yeah, Bidenomics works.
Oh, man.
Yeah, for sure. So keep voting Democrat.
Harrisonomics.
Yeah.
Oh, those Harrisonomics are really getting...
Oh, no, we haven't got Harrisonomics yet. We're still on Bidenomics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because magically, Harris has been in office for the last 3.5 years with a guy who's brain dead, and she had no policy decisions whatsoever.
Apparently not.
I feel like that is a great big old steaming crock pot full of actual poo.
Well, we know that there's strings on him. We know he's been puppeteered through this whole thing because there's no way that man thought for himself a single minute.
No, there's not a chance.
But, you know, now whatever Trump says he's going to do with the economy, she's just got a hat that says ditto.
That's not entirely
Ditto?
wrong. That's basically what her policy looks like.
Did you say ditto?
Ditto.
Ditto.
Wow.
Okay, ditto.
Yep. I'm going to rebuild the border wall. She goes, ditto. We need a border wall.
Which is hilarious.
No taxes on tips. Ditto.
Yeah. Get
exactly.
it? Just pretty much whatever Trump says, she's going ditto.
That's because she knows. Wait till the debate, because apparently Trump said that the debate is going to happen.
Yep.
Now, what's going to be funny about this is to watch him completely bury her.
Yeah. Well, she wanted the mics hot because she was going to try to goad him into saying something. She could turn to him and say, I'm speaking. You know, she's going to want to act like she was the moral authority. And they've decided, because apparently the news channel agreed with Trump, this is the terms that were laid down. This is the terms of the debate.
Yep.
Okay.
I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It should be hilarious.
Now, did they end up giving her the questions ahead of time?
I'm sure they will. Well,
because that was part of the problem before.
No.
Yeah.
Officially, no. Sure. Because
No.
that was why she said no the last time, was because they wouldn't give her the questions.
yeah. Well, she wanted to be able to bring notes. Well, you don't need notes. You don't bring notes unless you know the questions.
Exactly. What are you going to do? Just write down information, random info on them and hope it gets used? Nah, that's not how you cheat on a test.
You know, you might write down notes, talking points you want to press on certain things, but even then you should be able to remember that.
Like if this subject comes up, this is my points I want to talk about.
So,
if this subject
speaking
comes
of
up.
Dear Harris, let's talk about what happened with her campaign this week.
Which one?
Tucker.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the Harris campaign gets a handwritten letter signed, according to them, Tucker. And we've all seen the letter. It's signed Tucker at the bottom. Harris gets out there and starts talking about this amazing letter she got and how it backs her gun control, her tax plan, everything else. And then she says, and that was sent to me by Tucker, of course, implying the only single name Tucker is Tucker Carlson.
Well, she did that on purpose.
Tucker lost his freaking mind.
Well, you saw what they did to Joe Rogan's stuff.
Yeah.
They did clips of him making it sound like he was backing her and taking everything completely out of context by doing that. He was livid.
Yeah, so they played that game on Tucker Carlson this week, and and then now the campaign has stepped back and been like, well, we didn't say it was from Tucker Carlson. We just pointed out that it was from someone who we very much disagree politically with, who's named Tucker. Stop it.
Is Tucker a Cocker Spaniel?
I'm like, you people are so dumb. And then we did have something really interesting this week. I mean, it's possibly the biggest news there's been in a year.
Okay.
Did anybody happen to see where the CEO of Meta,
oh yeah,
Zuckerberg, wrote a letter to Jim Jordan and said, yes, the Biden administration did absolutely coerce and press rush into all of the following things.
Along with the FBI.
All the censorship stuff.
All of it. But what's so important about that is Director Mayorkas testified before Hawley in a commission that nothing of that nature would ever go on, and they did it on their own. Oh, dude, it's coming down.
And let me ask you this. Do you think that he did this because he's afraid that if Trump actually wins this, the hammer's going to come down?
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. This was just a CYA moment.
Yeah, that's what I was. What I was thinking. He's like going, okay, this looks pretty devastating. If this happens, the hammer's coming down on Meta, and we're done.
Yeah.
Well, you also heard
they'll drive the price, drive the value down so far that you might have a new owner of Meta.
Yeah. Well, you also
Same
heard
owner as X.
No more Zuckerbucks.
No more Zuckerbucks.
Nobody.
Yeah.
They said we're totally out of politics.
And then you add that all to the money that was spent by the Harris campaign to pay influencers to get on TikTok
Facebook,
and all this
TikTok
other stuff and do pro-Harris material.
Yeah.
They were paid.
Yeah.
Trump doesn't have to pay influencers.
No, he doesn't, because people follow him because he's charismatic. He's got great policies. And guess what? It's all about us.
Well, and let's forget the most number one thing. He's actually likable.
Yeah.
Like, no one likes Harris. No one.
Like,
Well,
do you think you could sit down at a barbecue and eat a steak and drink a beer with Trump?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, no, you couldn't drink a beer because he doesn't drink alcohol.
Whatever.
But you could have iced
you
tea
know
with him.
Just somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it could too.
Well, I think I could with Harris, too, as long as I paid her.
I wouldn't want to.
Hey.
I bet he eats his steak medium rare
All right.
Yeah.
because he's a man.
I'll go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, so those were kind of some interesting things that we definitely got to see some of this week. And I went, whoa.
Well, it's amazing. Look how much is coming out of all these places like Meta and everything since Elon Musk got involved. And when Elon Musk said screw the Democrats and jumped over and said this is the only way out of this mess for us is go with Trump, all of a sudden the other guys who are in the same business are going, we better get on this train or we're in trouble.
So did you see that? Did you watch that latest disco dance one that I sent you the other day?
Oh, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Elon, RFK, and Trump.
Yeah.
Now we need to put Zuckerberg in there and have the four of them disco dancing.
Yeah. Now, here's something else big. Once again, Elon has come to the rescue, even though he's being investigated because SpaceX is going to save two of our astronauts.
Oh, gee.
Boeing can't do it. They say they can get the Starliner back, but they can't bring anybody on
And they
it.
shut NASA down like a mother.
Well,
What happened to Space Pro? What happened to Space Force?
nobody will fund it.
Well, Trump wants to expand Space Force to the National Guard. Give them a National Guard version of it if he gets in, which makes sense. You would always have somebody in training.
You hear the crickets chirping? It's because nobody cares.
I don't know. I think they ought to attach Space Force to Elon's company.
Well, right now, I'd
You want to
say
see what
his
Star Wars really is?
Yeah, that you'll have real Star Wars if you use him.
There's no question about it.
Well, you'll at least have space defense.
Yeah. So,
Because that guy will sit down with his large bong and come up with exactly what you need to defend the Earth from asteroids, aliens, solar flares, anything. It doesn't matter.
Oh.
And it'd be funny just to listen to him talk about it.
Kind of would. It'd be entertaining.
So he's been ripping pretty hard lately on... have you seen any of his lives at like 2 in the morning he's doing on TikTok?
No, I need to.
Well, he's getting on there and going live and just talking to people. And he's talked about politics. He's talked about sciencey stuff. It's pretty good.
Elon Musk. Mm-hmm. Ah, okay.
He's got some weird handle. And you have to be like a super nerd to figure out what the handle is. But I was rolling through and I'm like, is this real? And then I was watching the actual voice comments. And I'm like, no, this is real. He's talking about how to prevent government from failing because government has a tendency to just overspend nonstop and there's no accountability for how much they spend except raising taxes. I'm like, nope, that's real.
well, he is like one of the smartest guys in the world. I guess you'd call him a modern-day Einstein, except he has maybe just a little more common sense than Einstein.
Here's the thing. Einstein never ranks in my top smartest people because 70% of what he talked about can't be proven. The 30% you could prove, it was pretty cool. The other...
Well, it's the same way with what's his name in a wheelchair. Most of his theories have been disproven.
Right. They just sound like they know what they're talking about. That's it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, until you can disprove them, makes them pretty impressive. But that's the part I do like about Elon. If he says it'll work, guess what? It'll work.
It typically works.
He says, I can build a spacecraft. It'll go to space, come back, and land in the same spot it took off from. And everybody went, yeah, right. Well, it does.
So you can follow him actually at Elon Musk 1053.
There it is.
I had to go find it and follow it because I will be checking that out.
It's really worth watching.
Not that I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I am. Just listening to his general take on a lot of the stuff is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. It's definitely fun to listen to.
Well,
yes, sir.
Jack Smith.
Oh, so talk about this Jack Smith thing, the prosecutor who was never confirmed.
Back to square one, really.
He came out basically with the exact same indictment. He just took out a half a dozen names. And the Supreme Court pretty much told him, this whole case can't be brought up.
Yeah.
And he's still trying to push it through. And, Kamala got bad news, so, well, let's go indict Trump. Haven't they learned yet? You indict Trump, you just raise his numbers.
Well, here's what I want to know. How does an illegal prosecutor indict anybody?
I don't get it.
Well, right now, the problem is the indictment came in New York. And under New York district law, he is a legitimate prosecutor. In Florida, he's not a legitimate prosecutor. So this means it goes to where, gentlemen?
Supreme Court.
And the Supreme Court has pretty well ruled on it.
Yeah, they've already said don't do it. So at this point, is he just trying to come up with cases to try to create some more extra notoriety for himself?
No, I think he's just trying to bloody Trump as much as he can because nothing else is working. And he hasn't worked yet.
I'm not normally a fan of dragging people to black sites.
But he's getting close.
You're not?
Well, on January 20th, I know my first order would be bring me Jack Smith.
He would at least disappear.
I would have him chained in the corner of the White House.
Yeah.
Like down in the basement somewhere. We'd feed him every now and then. Just pointing that out. Yeah, it happens.
I'm not going to. No. Yep.
Yeah.
You know, if you're wondering what else sometimes happens, then we'd like to remind you to go check out our friends over at Elliott Flooring, 406 South Lincoln Drive in Troy. They have the greatest floor coverings, tiles, ceramic, hardwood, and beautiful stuff around. Check them out on Facebook at Elliott Flooring. Go see what the latest, coolest stuff is. They do floors, countertops, backsplashes. They can take care of you. Give them a call, 528-6334. Shop local because they beat big box stores big time. Boom.
Yeah. So how's things going down at Black Flag?
They've been going pretty good. It's been a pretty busy week hanging out down there. It was very busy today. Lots of people coming in and out. The weather is not actually terrible, even though it's kind of warm. But people are getting back out doing a lot of fishing and bow fishing and all that kind of stuff. So much so I had to order more worms today because I've already sold out for the week. So that way we can get some more in for this week. And then just ridiculous amounts of guns coming in. Big time. I've really, really been trying to order a lot because stuff gets hard to get as the election gets closer. And the price just goes up and up the closer it gets. So if you're in the market for a rifle, shotgun, handgun, or you need something fixed, you need some Cerakoting done, my advice is do it now because the price will continue to rise.
Go to Facebook, find Black Flag Outfitters, and follow them, and then watch daily because a picture will be posted usually on the daily and with no information. And because that's the way it has to be. And all you got to do, if you see that picture, that's what the special is for the day. All you got to do is message. Just send them a message on Facebook, and he'll answer, and you get any information you want on it.
You know, a lot of people keep telling me about how they're, looking around for, like, the SX4 Winchester shotgun for duck hunting and all that kind of stuff. I can get any brand of shotgun you want, but I'm not going to stock $50,000 in shotguns. So if there's something you want, just send me a message and ask what I can get it for. Or come by the shop and come see. Because it takes about 3 days for me to order you anything you want. And you'll save a crap load of money if on nothing else other than sales tax between here and Bass Pro and Cabela's. Big time.
Also available this week as of tomorrow, go down and get your Black Flag t-shirt.
Yes.
There's a couple of larges and a couple of extra larges available. If you got a different size, let Dodd know what size you need, and he'll get them sent over and made.
They are super cool looking shirts.
Yeah, they're all in Gadsden gold.
Yeah,
y'all, Gadsden gold. You're gonna love it. Go down and get you one.
Very cool stuff, just waiting for you.
How much are those gonna be?
Probably $20.
Yeah, $20 to support
that's pretty
Black
common.
Flag. Yeah, it's good. Because it's not just something on the front. It's got the front lapel. It's got a back piece, and also on the sleeve is a Gadsden flag with a snake. So it's not just like a single print for $20. You get a good shirt.
Yep, it's some good stuff.
What about Kamala Harris's upcoming CNN interview?
Oh, I didn't hear about this. Tell me about it.
Well, she can't go alone. She's having to take her vice president candidate along with her.
Her boyfriend.
Because she can't take on a interview by herself.
Oh, boy.
Or her handler's so scared she's going to start cackling, and that's why they got to have Timbo sitting there.
Yes. I think they're just so scared because she doesn't actually know anything. She never says anything that has any substance to it whatsoever.
Well, what's he got?
You know it's cold outside when you go outside and it's cold.
Idiot.
What was it I said the other day? She's like she's like a fifth grader doing a book report on a book she never read.
Yeah, that's pretty close. The passage of time is the Passage of time.
is when you know that the second hand is moving forward. That's how you know that time is passing.
Oh, man.
Yeah. She's so brilliant. She's smart.
She's so dumb.
She's so dumb.
Like, there's dumb, and then there's Harris.
Well, there's dumb, and then there's Biden, and then there's Harris, and then there's that whole... I mean, it just goes on down the line. Elizabeth Warren, so on
you
and
got
so
AOC,
forth.
Warren,
AOC.
and Bernie. Yeah.
Bernie Sanders is in the mix there. Is he backing Kamala?
Yes. Bernie is.
I'm not surprised. They're such sheep. Have you ever sat there and tried to talk and you ask them straight up, well, what is it about Kamala? Like, why are you voting for Kamala? Well, her policies. Okay, well, name one. Well, she's just got good things to say. Okay, well, what does she say? They have no answers. They cannot give you anything.
No.
You know the answer I've gotten twice when I've asked Democrats why you're voting for Kamala?
Because she's a black female.
No. It's not Trump.
Well,
That's it.
yeah.
That's the only it's the only thing. It's not Trump.
Yeah, that's all they've got.
Wow.
That's all they've got.
That's sad.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. But
Good grief.
you know, her stance on the economy is going to kill her once they get in a debate. She's got nothing she can go into the debate with that's solid, that's going to win.
She has no policy.
Yeah. You know, Trump's nothing but policies. And, you know, he has solid policies. Let's talk about Trump's possible cabinet with JF or RFK Jr., Elon.
Well, did I read that RFK is going to be leading the transition team?
Well, I heard he just got put on the transition team.
There was an article, and I believe it was on the Blaze. It may have been on the Pundit. I'm not sure, but one of them said something about him leading the transition team.
Well, if he's going to be a cabinet member, he would have to leave the transition team.
They also said that he's still going to be on the ballot in some of those states.
Because those secretaries of state are refusing to remove him from the ballot to poll votes.
But blue states are wanting to remove his name where he hasn't applied to have his name removed. See, once you suspend your campaign, they can't take you off unless you request to be taken off.
And he only requested the 10 battleground.
Right.
Okay.
So one of the interesting ones we have for your girlfriend Kamala. Harris'
Everybody's
campaign
girlfriend.
now says Kamala doesn't support the all-electric car mandate, even though she co-sponsored the legislation that sought to ban the sale of gas-powered vehicles.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's also, and to go along with that is the fracking deal.
Yeah. She's now for fracking.
Which is amazing because she would talked about never, ever, ever on fracking.
Yeah. Now, let's get into some polling numbers. Trafalgar and some of these guys have got out now, and they're now giving us how to read the polls. If Trump was down by 1, he's up by 3.
Huh?
They're saying everybody, 90% of the polls are oversampling Democrats so much that if Trump is, like right now, all these polls are showing Harris at 50, Trump 48. He's up, in that case scenario, he's up by 1. He's not down. They're oversampling Democrats again. And so they're taking some, and they're not even sampling Democrats. They're just automatically saying, we've got the black vote. And it's starting to look like they may lose 45% of the black male vote and 30% of the white black female vote.
Every day I see more and more on social media black people pro-Trump.
Yeah.
Every day I see more and more.
And they're starting to say this isn't even close. But that's some of these guys who are, and they're saying this mainly because they are asking issue-based questions. There's only like one question out there Trump's losing on. and that's abortion.
Well,
Because he will not do a national mandate to make abortions legal. Trump got it where it belongs. It's back to the states where it should have been all along.
As the Constitution defines, powers not listed herein.
Ghost.
no, bulb went out in the... Bulb is going out in the light. Okay.
That's a cool sound. I don't know if you guys happen to see, but today the Supreme Court made a ruling. Supreme Court blocks the Biden-Harris regime from stealing taxpayer money to cancel student loan debt.
Now, to go along with that, our Attorney General, Andrew Bailey, was very instrumental in blocking that here in Missouri.
Yes.
Actually, he just posted on that. So, yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I was like, all right, there you go. I'm sure that just makes them want to fill the court even more.
So, should Harris win, that'll be the first thing you see they change. They will pack the Supreme Court.
Oh, without a doubt.
That'll be the very first thing they do.
Well, it's interesting. If you go to the pre-polls, you have the Democrats up. They have her at 226 and him at 219. But they only have 40 points leaning left, but they have 106 leaning right. So it's still in his favor.
Some things just are confusing.
Let's see.
That's when we just stop and go, what? What's going on here?
But those are the uncounted ones, is what I'm saying, that they're not. The ones that are leaning aren't in that number that I gave. So that's still 106 or whatever it is going to the right and only 40 going to the left. So, there's that.
I'm starting to smell electrical in here.
It's that bulb. I was smelling that too.
I thought I was just finally having a stroke on the air.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, here we go.
So
don't
we're
do
all
that.
doing it at the same time? Awesome.
Yeah. Somebody cure up Guns N' Roses knocking on heaven's door, please. Here we go. Let's do this. Like, wow.
I'm game.
Yes.
Yeah, like I said, that was on the poll numbers. We started off with just $400, and how that, I find that amazing that people don't have an emergency fund bigger than that.
Fair.
But when you get on buy, sell, trade now and start looking at the prices of stuff, stuff is tanking.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, though. Do you think that part of that is due to the fact, because I know I'm one of these people, I don't keep all my money in the bank. And do you think some of that is due to people who just not having their money in the bank?
No. This was they surveyed their customers. If you had a $400 expense tomorrow, could you cover it?
Oh,
if you blow a tire out nowadays on a car, that's $400.
It's pretty funny.
really? It cost me $400 to do all 4 of them on my truck.
I can't on my truck.
Most people don't. Most people nowadays in a new car, which is not your truck, have 20-inch tires.
Oh, that's that size. That's
Yeah.
that's true.
So you've got a classic 16-inch tire. They're
Yeah.
still decent price.
Yeah.
But you go for that weird stuff like the 20-inch tire and all
18s,
that.
20s.
Yep. It
You-
triples the price.
They're about $500 a piece for my truck right now.
It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. And, if you got a 4-wheel drive car, you blow one tire, you got to replace all 4. Otherwise, you run the risk of damaging your whole drivetrain. So,
Stop it, Lee. People don't know that. They
so
think
even
it's
if they're
a lie.
$100 tires, you still got $400 invested.
I get it.
I thought it was crazy when I
That's
heard
why I don't
people.
buy new vehicles.
I
Also
don't
true.
either. But that's what I found was, I found this interesting because I kept hearing more and more reports that people were using credit cards just to pay for groceries.
Yes.
And that makes sense because they got all their credit card was their emergency fund. Their emergency fund's what's buying their food.
That is correct. And that is truly what we are now beginning to see.
Elon Musk just followed Traveling East Productions back on TikTok.
Cool. Very cool.
I will be putting some clips on there and tagging him.
Awesome. So just in, FBI releases photos of Thomas Crook's rifle and explosive devices. Mm-hmm. But are you ready for the kicker? They claim the would-be Trump assassin had a mixture of ideologies, but the motive behind the shooting is still unknown.
After what? How many interviews?
And will probably never be known.
Oh, they know. They know damn well what it is. They just don't want to say it.
Well, let's get into Thomas Crook.
Oh, please. Let's go down the path of Mr.
They washed all the evidence off the roof as fast as they could.
Uh-huh.
They had the body cremated before they could have an autopsy.
Yep.
I mean, let's just go down the list of things.
And if we actually dig around and we find his Gab channel, et cetera, we find that he liked to do the tranny thing and wear a collar and all kinds of other weird stuff. So, what's up with that? It's pretty weird.
Yeah, well, this whole last news cycle's been weird since last Wednesday even. You just keep coming, but you got everybody trying to point fingers in every direction, and they're trying to say, well, he was following Trump because he was a right winger. No, he wasn't a right winger.
No.
Explosives expert. He said, I don't even have the training to make the stuff this kid had.
I actually saw part of that interview as well when he was talking about what the explosives actually were.
And he said with the remotes he had, he said, I couldn't even do it. Now, this is one of the best the DOD's turned out, and he's saying that's impossible for me. That tells me this kid had a lot more help, and they're trying to get rid of whoever was helping him.
Because he was talking about one of the explosive devices. And he was talking about this isn't something you make in your house or even in a lab in your garage and mix it together. He started talking about the process. Remember when he was talking about how you have to cool it with liquid nitrogen and mix the... He's like, I know how to do it, but I know I can't do it. I don't have the equipment, the lab, nothing. And so far we've seen no equipment or lab to make this stuff. So where'd he get it? And I went...
And then, and they say we're all conspiracy theorists. No, we're just trying to connect the dots. This isn't a conspiracy. This is just connecting dots. This kid's not capable of doing this.
No.
And now today they came out and said the high-level encryption was no higher than what you'd have on a Roku account.
Okay.
I don't know of any offshore bank account that has that low of encryption.
No. No.
Like I said, they're trying to dumb it down and make it sound like there's nothing there. And then that turns guys like us loose, and they're saying we're conspiracy nuts.
But we are.
It's
the only problem is they come true.
It's only a conspiracy if it doesn't happen.
You're not wrong.
I mean, this is like Einstein's theory. They're true until you can prove otherwise.
What a
they're not giving us anything to disprove what we're saying.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
I did think it was interesting that some of the things that we've kind of been seeing. Did you see? So Biden went on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Twice.
Again.
Harris went out and started doing whatever it is Harris does. We don't really know what that is. And Trump went to Arlington.
And laid the wreath for the 13th.
Uh-huh. So.
And they're giving him all kinds of grief about going.
Well, you know what I was surprised? John Kirby is actually the one. I don't give a lot of credit to Kirby, right? Mm. But Kirby actually defended the actions of, he didn't need to, but he explained the actions of President Trump pretty solidly. And he said, no, he was requested by the family to do that.
Well, did you see the accusations about his team or somebody, physical altercations and stuff with the staff there because of filming or something? You're not allowed to film there.
All crap.
Yeah.
I thought that one was pretty interesting. I'm like, so Joe went to the beach. You took a vacation. The Taliban's hanging out, getting $81 million a month from us that we're paying them to continue to terrorize the entire region. And this is what you got. Congratulations.
Why are we paying the Afghan Taliban 81?
You know, I would really love to know why we're paying the Afghan Taliban $81 million a month.
Since they're selling off all our excess military equipment we left there.
To other terrorist organizations like themselves. And then you have, I don't know if you guys have seen it. Have you guys seen the interview with Sean Clark? Former special operations, and then he was in the CIA. So he did an interview with President Trump last week. He sat down in Vegas with him and did an interview. But prior to that, he did an interview with a guy named Masood. Masood is the leader of the resistance forces in Iraq, who is resisting the Taliban. So when Sean sat down with President Trump, he went right to it and said, look, I met with this guy. Trump knew who the guy was. And he's like, he told me, the more money the U.S. continues to give the Taliban, the more powerful they become, they will strike. They will hit you. Why are we giving them anything? Whoa. That is a fantastic interview. If you're out there, go watch that. Both of the interviews are actually worth watching. The interview with Masood and the interview with Trump that Sean does. They're really, really, really good.
When your government has the money to give to terrorist organizations, something is wrong.
Well, yeah, this is just another example of overtaxing at its highest point.
Well, not just that, but the moral value of your government giving money to an organization like that. It's mind-boggling.
It is.
It's all part of a one world order. They got to bring us down any way they can.
You're not wrong.
I mean, it's plain and simple. That's what they're doing.
Sure. Finance the opponent and
build them up so we can't defeat them. I mean, I heard a guy today came out with a plan, said Europe's part of NATO needs to step up, cover Ukraine, because we have to concentrate on China.
Cover Ukraine for what? Let it go.
Yeah.
Just let Vladimir have it. What's the big deal? I don't understand.
Without the billions of dollars that we give them, he wouldn't be able to do anything. He would just lay down and go, okay, you can have us.
Right.
Because he wouldn't have anything.
If Zelensky hadn't got U.S. funding or world funding, he would have lost within the first 2 weeks.
Mostly you, the American taxpayer.
Yeah.
Once again. To bring us down so they're trying to force us into a one world order. Obama's just standing back there waiting to be the leader of it.
I mean, he's already pointed out he wants to be the head of the United Nations.
I was just about to say that whenever he was leaving office, it was his goal to head the United Nations.
Yeah, can you imagine what a terrorist he'd be to us as the head of the United Nations? I mean, think about this. the United Nations would be sanctioning us every time we turn around for something because
The United Nations shouldn't even exist.
I know. If we would quit funding them, they wouldn't.
That is also
And
We tried that for 4 years.
Yeah, well, we did that back under the thing called the League of Nations, and it went away under Woodrow Wilson. And he cried, "If they just don't understand." No, we totally understand. You're trying to make a one world, one government, one world, and we refuse. And the American people need to wake up and realize this is what our leaders, our elected officials, our servants are trying to do to us. Our servants are not serving us.
because they don't care about you at all. You are nothing but a tax base for them. Speaking of that, I saw that Sam Graves has sent his representative to speak at something in Lincoln County. I would be very curious to know why he continues to back the Ukraine war, why he continues to back massive spending bills put out by the DOJ.
Why is Sam Graves afraid to come and speak himself?
Oh, he never comes and speaks himself. He always sends somebody else.
What a coward.
Well, why don't you just compare him to Kamala then?
Okay.
She sends somebody else always to speak for her because she knows she can't.
No. It's just an on and on and on thing that it just annoys the crap out of me. And somehow you idiots keep reelecting rhinos in Missouri. What is wrong with you guys? Seriously.
It really irritates me because during the week, I'll always get something for Luchtenmeyer because our shop is in his old office.
Yep.
And I always get something, and I have to write on there, not at this address or whatever. And I really want to start writing on there. Stop sending letters to this idiot or something like that. But it annoys me to even see his name.
Yeah. As well it should. It's amazing the fake game that these dudes walk and do this fake conservatism.
Uh-huh.
And then they turn around and they are as left can possibly be. That makes me nuts. And, it's something that we keep seeing over and over and over again. No matter what office they're for, there's very few that are actually fall into the conservative mindset. Most of them just say what they need to say to get elected, and that's the extent of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've said this for a long time. It's the people you're putting on these boards and everything else. You got to vet these people because they're the guys that are going to be stepping up and running for office. And I think if you're going to be on any government-serving board, you have to declare a party so we know your ideologies. Are you a bleeding heart liberal? Are you a ultra-conservative? Are you some wishy-washy down the middle of the road?
Right.
We need to know this.
Yeah, and I don't think it matters which level of election it is. That one of the biggest things, I don't talk about Missouri politics, but I will. We need to do away with bipartisan elections or nonpartisan elections because that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's crap. It's
on everything, on every level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
School
on
board, government.
every level.
Exactly.
You need to know. Declare.
People need to know where you stand. If they're going to vote for you, it doesn't matter if you're a school board or city council, alderman, whatever, mayor. People need to know where you stand.
Without a doubt. I am 100% behind that.
I will cite Troy just for that.
Yeah. I would almost like to see them take it to the point that they would tell you what partisan or what party submitted this proposal you're voting on the ballot. Is this coming from the Democrats or the Republicans? Because the way they write them up anymore, and the Secretary of State will let some of this wording go through. Sometimes you got to vote no to say yes on something. It's just ridiculous.
Yes.
What happened to plain speak in ballot issues?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, if you know it's coming from the left, you better read that thing darn close. because I'm about to get hung out to dry here on something.
Well, you can pretty much bet that every tax initiative that hits is from the left or from a left-leaning
Rhino.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
I mean,
and that includes your bond issues.
Yeah.
Pretty much every time.
Your bond issues, voting no on bond issues can actually save you money.
But
people don't realize it.
But it's a no tax increase bond issue.
Nope, saves you money.
But that's how they sell it.
I know.
Whenever it's for the school, it's for the kids.
It's for the kids.
You know what? Your kids are stupid, and they're going to continue to be stupid, and giving them more of my money.
It's for the elderly.
Yeah, none of that is going to fix your problem.
No, it doesn't fix anything. I mean, the Democrats always come out and yell the Republicans are going to cut off your Social Security and your Medicare and all that. Well, the people who are yelling about getting rid of Medicare now are the Democrats, not the Republicans.
Agreed.
The elderly people need to get their ears and eyes opened up and pay attention that, hey, if I keep voting for these Democrats, I'm not going to have anything.
Well, if they would have used their brains to begin with, they would have got out of the Social Security business long, long ago and not bought the joke. You're going to get back, a fraction of what you paid in? Are you an idiot? Yeah, you're an idiot. That's all there is to it. You're stupid.
Well, that's why I took mine early.
And that's the whole thing, though. Everybody wants to argue this, that, or Social Security, whatever. Here, stop.
I had this discussion with somebody the other day, and I kept saying, they're going, well, if you'll just hold off and then go ahead and get Social Security. I said, you know what? Social Security's not going to be there.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think it's fine. We're blah, 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 blah. No, they keep taking money out of it. It's going to be depleted by, what'd they say, 2035 or something?
Something like that.
Depleted.
Yeah, somewhere's in that range.
And that number is actually shorter because all of the illegals are currently being paid out of Social Security, so it's actually accelerated that.
It'll probably be long before that, 2030 or so.
Yeah.
By now.
And
don't buy into government schemes. And that's all Social Security was.
Well, yeah. I don't know why we needed Social Security in the first place. Our forefathers would just take their money, put it in a damn mason jar, and bury it in the yard, and they had money.
Well,
or they invested in gold and silver and
please allow me. This is why we needed Social Security.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Because the government was broke.
I know.
And what they did is they created something called Social Security Insurance. That was its original title.
Supplemental insurance.
No, that didn't come till later.
Supplemental came later.
No, that's way later.
Oh.
Now, let me tell the damn story. So,
Tell the damn story.
they set this thing up because the government is actually broke. And they determine everyone is going to voluntarily pay into this. And originally, it is voluntarily. And everybody signs up for it. And it's not that much money. But when you multiply it by the entire population of the U.S., it's a crap load of money. Remember, when you pay Social Security, that money does not go into, quote, a Social Security savings account. It goes directly into general revenue with an IOU stating that the federal government owes you this much money. Well, if I give you $100 and I'm like, hey, CT, hold on to this for me. I'm going to need it back in like 20 years. CT's going to write down, I owe Dodd $100, stick it in his wallet, and take that $100 and go buy something with it. He'll worry about paying it when it's due. And that's exactly
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the U.S. has done with the scam that is Social Security. And then everybody's just like, oh, Social Security. So you guys should have ended this in the 60s.
So what they've done is created a debt that they don't intend to pay back.
No.
They never did.
No, they're counting on you to pay into it and die before you collect.
This is why they keep raising the age of retirement. Now they're saying 77 or something?
Yeah.
What the?
Exactly. And you guys get bent out of shape because you fell for it. Well, you allowed them to be able to set the rules, and now you're mad because they set the rules and they keep increasing the date, hoping you'll die before you can collect. that's on you for trusting the government. That makes you an idiot.
But that was happening before us.
Oh, yes.
You know, we don't have a choice. If you have a job, you pay into Social Security. It just automatically comes out of your check. You don't have a choice.
Which really needs to be challenged.
And your employer doesn't have a choice.
No.
Exactly. That is on the list of things that absolutely needs to be challenged.
And you want to know why we have rampant inflation?
Oh, I don't want to know why. I know why.
How about rampant government spending in excess?
Inflated government.
Yeah.
Way inflated.
Bad news.
And it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. 80,000 IRS agents, 80,000 U.S. jobs here, 800,000 over there.
Amazing that as
But we're creating jobs.
And what's so interesting, people believe it?
And eventually you believe it.
Well, the last time we had a revision like that was under Obama.
Was it?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I just find it odd that it's basically the same group both times.
Well, strange how that happens, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Hey, if you are out there, you've been listening, hopefully you're watching on the Rumble channel. If you haven't, it's rumble.com or download the Rumble app. Find us. We are Traveling East Productions. You can find this show, which is not politically correct. You can also watch our other fantastic shows like Morning Java that CT and I do on Saturday mornings. Check out all of that good stuff. And if you're listening to us on headbangersradio.com, we certainly appreciate you. If you're just joining us for the end of the show and you missed it, remember, you can always watch us out on the Traveling East Productions Network, and you can also listen to us on any way you listen to podcast.
Yeah.
Whatever that happens to be.
Yeah.
At that, it looks like it appears we are out of time. Gentlemen, you got any closing words there, Lee?
Oh, gosh. Just wake up, people. You got to pay attention to what's going on around you and vote Republican, but make sure they are not rhinos.
Very solid advice, man. Without a doubt. All right, well, we are going to head on out. We will see you guys next week. CT, close it out, buddy.
Stay awake, not woke. Join us Saturday morning, 9 a.m., right here on the Traveling East Productions Network for Morning Java with myself and Dodd. And also on 1280 AM, 105.3 FM. I'm CT, he's Dodd, he's Lee. We'll see you.
I saw a meme.
So we're still here on video, though.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I saw a meme the other day.
Yeah.
It's Noah.
I should have not played the music.
Yeah, with Noah
Sorry.
talking to two people. He said, "I said rhinos with an H, not R-I-N-O. Republicans in name only. You can't get on the boat."
I saw you shared that. It made me laugh.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Lee, we're
Yes.
into a bonus section.
Ah,
And you know what that means?
I have a recipe, guys.
If you have
Oh.
more than, let me ask you something. If you have more than one bonus section, would that be a boni?
It'd be a boner.
Or would it be bonuses?
No, it's a boner.
It's a boner?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm so glad we're not on the radio.
Well, I'm glad we're not on terrestrial.
Yeah. There's nobody over there but skeletons and dinos. Go ahead.
Okay.
All
I
right.
have cooked this.
Well, that doesn't mean it's good.
Well, we'll
Definitely.
find out. Jalapeno popper soup.
Okay, you got my attention.
All right.
I knew I'd get your attention to that. Here's the ingredients. 6 tablespoons of butter. I actually went a little over. Half of a large onion. 4 cloves of garlic,
Okay.
minced. The onion is finely chopped. 3 potatoes, peeled and cubed. Now, I like the smaller cubes, just instead of the bigger chunks of it, because this makes it a better soup to me. 1/4 cup of flour. 2 cups of heavy cream. The original recipe called for half and half. No. If you're going to make it right.
Make it.
Own it. 8 ounces of white, sharp cheddar cheese.
Okay, I'm liking this.
White, sharp cheddar cheese just has that unique flavor.
Yeah, it does.
That macaroni and cheese I made was with white, sharp cheddar and cheese you two liked. 8 ounces of cream cheese.
Okay.
You got to have that cream cheese.
I was waiting for that to come in because you have to.
We're going to do 6 medium jalapenos. If you want it a little extra kick, leave the seeds in. If you don't want the kick, take the seeds out. Just,
Okay.
Peel the membrane in the inside and seed it and be done. You're going to chop them finely. You don't want big chunks. You want this to be distributed so you're getting chunks of jalapeno in every bite too. And then, you're going to have salt and pepper to your taste. I used little holy jalapeno instead, because I'm getting my salt, my pepper, my garlic there, and I'm getting just a little more jalapeno in it, because I found it just a little light on the jalapeno for my
Not enough
liking.
pepper. I would still add pepper even with holy jalapeno.
Okay.
Yeah, but you still add pepper. And then you add croutons if you want. But what you're doing, you're going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter. You're going to saute down your onions, your garlic.
Mm-hmm.
Get that all done. And then you're going to...
Are you just making those onions translucent,
Yep.
or are you going
You're
a little?
just cooking them down translucent.
You're not okay. You're not going to a full.
No, you're not going for a caramelization.
Okay.
You just want translucent because it is a soup.
I don't know. I kind of like the caramel.
You run the risk of getting bitter because you run the risk of overcooking your garlic.
What? Can I ask what onions you're using on these?
I use yellow onions when I'm making something like this. It's a sweet onion, but it's still a good onion. White onions are more for a sandwich. You could go Valdez if you want to really go sweet. I just like the basic yellow onion.
Okay.
Now, after we got the onions and everything cooked down and soft translucent, we're going to put our chicken broth in. I think I forgot to mention the chicken broth. And let me find
Can I
that
ask
back.
why you use chicken broth and not beef or bone?
If you use beef and bone, it gets dark and it's going to give it a brown texture. It's supposed to look like the filling out of a jalapeno popper.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's where I'm going on that one for you. You could use vegetable broth if you want.
No, I
But
don't.
the chicken's just going to give you some more flavor.
Yeah.
And it's 5 cups of chicken broth. It's a lot of chicken broth in this soup.
Good.
Now, this one calls for like 2 cups of chicken. I skipped the chicken altogether, and I went straight to Jimmy Dean's hot. And chorizo would even be better, I think.
Oh.
Chorizo.
Yeah.
Okay.
You follow me here?
No,
going
I'm with
the
you because I
sauce.
was waiting for some meat in here. But
Yeah, I'm
see,
going
what
for
I
the
would
sauce.
do.
I'm skipping the chicken.
Being that it's more of a Mexican flavored deal, I would go with ground beef and chorizo
Yeah. But I
because
would
you want that. I want that beef fat.
Okay.
Okay. I'll go with you. Like I said, this is your all's
No,
options
I'm
on
liking
it.
this so
No,
far.
I'll follow this down.
Yeah.
And so you got the broth in there. You're going to bring it to boil about 10, 15 minutes till your potatoes are soft. Now, if you want to take a shortcut, buy the already cubed potatoes, and you're only talking 5 minutes. You just got to get them hot. It just speeds you up.
Yeah.
And, in the winter, sometimes you just can't find good potatoes. These potatoes will always be consistent.
Okay.
At this point, you're going to add in a couple tablespoons of flour. You're going to stir it, combine it, and let it thicken for about 2 minutes. Once you get thickened, now you're going to start adding your cream in. You got 2 cups. You're going to put about a half cup at a time in and stir it.
Heavy cream or
Yeah, I want heavy cream. I
Okay,
want the
yeah.
flavor. I want the,
Sure,
you know me. I'm
that
all about
rich.
rich.
I think that richness would really add to it.
I am all about the richness. Half
Yeah.
and half ain't gonna cut it. Once you got all your cream in, it's starting to simmer good. Start slowly implementing your white cheddar cheese. Cube up your cream cheese. It's already been softened. Start putting your softened cream cheese in. Oh, wait a minute. I did this wrong. You got to melt your cheese mixture in a separate thing because you're adding that to the other. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it'll take forever for it to ever melt down. It'll work, but I made that mistake once. Don't like doing that twice. Your cheese mixture melted down. Pour your cheese in, your broth mixture. Combine them. Add your jalapenos and your meat. Chicken just wasn't going to cut it. I just thought jalapenos and chicken,
Now,
that's just not.
Here's something else too. Just now, this is from a New Mexican. Okay,
Yeah.
take it as you want to. We don't do jalapeno. We don't do them like you guys do them here.
Yeah.
They're always wrapped.
The poppers are.
We don't really make stuffed jalapenos like
Yeah.
you guys do here. You
Okay.
usually batter them or something like
Yeah.
that, and they're deep fried. We wrap them in bacon and put them in the oven. So the jalapeno is stuffed with the cheese and everything, wrapped in bacon, thrown in the oven.
Right.
You can coat it with like crushed Ritz or something, and coat it and put it in there and bake it. But so to me, I would add bacon to that whole thing.
Just hang on.
Oh,
You're gonna fry up some bacon till it's crispy.
okay,
Yep.
And that goes in at the very end.
okay.
Yep.
When you add
Are
your
you using
jalapeno,
that as a garnish, or
you're gonna sprinkle that all over the top.
as a garnish? Like
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Like put it in your bowl and
Oh,
cover it in
and then
bacon.
you know what else? Just to really kick it off at the end, put the bacon, and then add
505.
because you got jalapeno and green chili mix, but you could add add some onion, some green onion,
Oh, scallion tops.
scallion tops. Yeah,
I would eat this.
Yeah.
yeah, I think I would too.
This
yeah.
is a good recipe, Lee.
Yeah. But
like
you,
this one.
But you got to use a hot sausage, or you got to use Cesara.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, you like the beef. I'd probably take the two sausages and mix them.
Yeah.
Either way, but
See, you could actually make that too into more of a chili relleno and do green chili in it, the 505 Southwestern green chili in it, and you could add, because the cornmeal and everything you usually use for a chili relleno on the outside, instead of that, to get that corn, I would actually add some frozen corn to it just to get that.
Yeah, I
Corn
got
flavor.
no problem with frozen corn.
well, yeah, you could throw the corn in there and kind of make it a jalapeno corn chowder.
Yeah, which
Without
I
a
am
doubt.
huge fan
Sure,
of.
sure. Yeah.
Because you got the potatoes, you got the heavy cream, so you're heading in the direction of a chowder to begin
Yeah.
with.
I would eat this.
I would
totally
totally
eat
eat
See,
this.
you know, even with those the different variations. I
Yeah.
mean, the only one I wouldn't eat would have been the original one with the chicken in it.
I think that this is one of those recipes that's very versatile.
yeah.
You can add and take away a lot of stuff in that. I like it.
I mean, it
like
takes about an hour to make it,
it. Okay.
but it's worth every. And here's the beauty of it: it freezes like you won't believe.
Or 20 minutes in a Instapot.
But you can freeze it.
I probably wouldn't do that with the heavy cream.
Yeah, true.
'Cause the Instapot
Yeah.
would turn the heavy cream into...
Yeah, you might.
Well,
have
you
some-
turn that in at the end,
cottage cheese.
but you can mix that in at the end
Yeah, that's true.
because that doesn't have to be cooked. You're doing that on the side.
Yeah.
But
That sounds fantastic.
I'm liking this one, Lee. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
Yeah, bravo. Bravissimo.
Nicely done, sir.
Very well.
you know, I've made it once, but I didn't get to enjoy it because I had pneumonia. I couldn't taste hardly anything.
That sucks.
Dude.
So I froze it, so I'm going to try it again.
No, don't even bother unfreezing it. Put it in popsicle molds and then have it as popsicles. It's so hot outside. It'll
Totally.
be great. Oh, that,
But
wow.
when I first saw that, I said, man, you got to get rid of that chicken. You know,
Yeah, no.
and I'm glad I did. Because chicken has no flavor except what you give to it.
Right.
So why would I want to ruin something that good by putting chicken in it? You know, it's just adding protein is all it's doing. It's not adding anything to the dish. And that's why I went with the hot sausage.
I like that. I like that idea a lot. The hot sausage sounds really good in it. Hot sausage, chorizo, bacon on top. Yeah.
Can you imagine that on a cold winter day?
Yes.
Actually, I can give you a better one. Can you imagine that at a Super Bowl party?
If you make it thick enough with cheese, it's a dip.
Yes.
Agreed.
You back the cream down,
Yeah.
and it becomes a dip.
More cheese, less cream,
Yep.
dip. Ooh.
Actually, I would just back out 1 cup of cream, and I'd have a dip.
Well, depend.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'd have to see how thick it makes it, but yeah, for sure. I'd eat that. I would tear that up.
I get some of those great Dorito scoops.
Well, I'm thinking I'm going to make that for a New Year's Eve dip.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you need the Frito scoops,
Yeah.
the corn chips. That would make that the best.
Even if you don't have the scoops, you just got to have a good, heavy, restaurant quality corn chip.
I don't know about restaurant quality. I think I would probably just go ahead and get me some corn tortillas and cut them up
Fry them yourself.
and fry them yourself, because restaurant quality tortilla chips don't mean nothing no more. There isn't a single Mexican food restaurant around here that has good tortilla chips.
Yeah, and they make them in-house in there.
Nope, they're terrible.
Yeah.
Chihuahuas is okay if you get them when they're hot.
Which
Okay.
is for like 4 minutes out of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd rather make them at home.
But now I'm really hungry. Thanks, Lee. That sounds so good.
Yeah, thanks, Lee.
Something else you could do with that?
Is make it tonight?
No.
Oh, what?
Take it somewhere's in between. You got to, you'd probably put a little more cream back in, thin it out a little bit, but make that a dip for enchiladas and stuff, or a dressing for enchiladas, or even over a steak. You know how they do the ribeyes in the Mexican restaurants?
I would pour that over a ribeye in a heartbeat.
I mean, can you imagine that instead of a steak tapatio? Have that on it instead of just the...
Yeah. Yeah. Because
like it. Yeah.
you could take something good like that and put it over a really bad cut of beef, and it would be fantastic.
skirt steak.
That's what I couldn't get the word together in my head, but yeah, skirt steak.
Flank steak. I can go down the list of them.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd put it on a roast.
I'm going to be honest.
You know, it might make a roast edible.
That's where I was going, because I hate roast more than anything else.
I love roast, but I only like my roast. Mine's tender. It's nice and it's flavorful. Most people's are just...
I'm going to be honest. Yours is one
Bleh.
of the few roasts I've ever had that was actually moist. Here's the problem with roast. Now, let's go down this path.
Do
I
it.
want you guys to join me.
Do it.
I know people that make roast, and they think it's the greatest thing on earth. They take a friggin' roast, they throw it in some damn water in a crock pot, and they boil the ever-loving dog piss out of it. They throw some carrots, onions, and potatoes in there and call it a roast. Here's the problem.
That's a pot roast.
And herein lies the problem. When you put the meat in the water, you have to understand something called hypertonic and hypotonic solutions. Now, that water will then draw out every single bit of flavor and moisture out of that meat. So you've got this broth that has a really good flavor, but the meat doesn't taste like crap. It's tough,
that's why
and
you-
it's dry.
That's why you have to have the gravy.
And then they're all confused as shit when you're like, this is dry. But they're like, it can't be dry. It was cooked underwater. Yes, it can.
Yeah.
See, now there's the difference. I don't put that water in mine.
Exactly.
Only thing mine gets is a stick of butter.
Exactly.
That's it. Stick of
And-
butter and seasonings and all that stuff.
And
It produces its own liquid.
Well, and the stick of butter is a fat soluble, which when the meat gets hot, it will absorb the butter, thus keeping it tender. Correct, Master Chef here?
Yes.
And then
Now-
towards the end, the last few hours, I'll pour bone broth.
Yes.
When I do my roast, the first thing I do is a cast iron skillet, little duck fat, and it gets a hot sear, and I seal it off.
So all the stuff doesn't come out?
It goes in the thing. Now, what I cook mine in, I don't use water. I use beef broth and beer.
Exactly.
Well,
You cannot
I use
use...
bone broth now, but yeah.
You can't use water.
No.
Damn it.
But that's what our
That's
mothers
what
did.
everybody did.
That's why it was so tough.
It was so nasty.
And a good roast is not that gray color, people.
No.
Some red in it. You got to have some red in it.
If you cook it in beer, it'll be, when you slice it open, it's just the most pretty mahogany color.
It is. It's kind of like, and I know I'm going on a tangent, but I actually don't give a shit. It's kind of like when people cook a burger ultra well done, and then they use a low fat content beef. That is the nastiest shit I have ever had in my life.
That's why you don't buy frozen patties.
Dude, these goofy bastards don't buy frozen patties. They buy fresh beef,
Oh, that lean stuff.
the
90
ultra
whatever.
lean, like
Yeah.
98%. It is absolutely horrific to eat because it's dry, it crumbles, it won't stay together.
Like an
You're-
80-20.
Can't stand it. Ugh.
Even when I make my meatloaf, I use a fatty hamburger because I like the grease in it because it's just the flavoring. And then when you go to cut it and slice it up, it's amazing.
Have you ever...
But I
And-
mix it with sweet Italian sausage.
Now, I know you both have had smash burgers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know the secret to a smash burger is
What is it?
2773 or 7327.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to use that. Basically, 70-30 beef. You got to have that extra
So
fat
you-
in it
you-
so you don't dry the center
You
of it
use
out.
the cheap shit.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Same with sausage.
Yes.
If I'm cooking my sausage and there is no puddle in my pan, something is wrong.
Yeah.
That is not sausage I want to eat anymore. If I can't make a gravy with just the juice alone, even if didn't have the meat in there, if I can't make a gravy with just the juice alone, something's wrong.
Yeah.
You know, they've been making sausage leaner and leaner and leaner because they're making the hogs leaner and leaner in the feedlots because it costs too much to give them the product to put the fat on them.
I want them fatty.
Fat is flavor.
Fat is flavor. That's
Plain
why
and simple.
it really irritates me in restaurants when they trim your steak. Don't trim my damn steak. I want it cooked with the fat on there, and if I want it off, I'll cut it off on my plate. But I won't. A little
That-
bit of fat in every bite is nice.
That pisses me off instantly.
I had a ribeye tonight for supper. There was nothing left on my plate.
That's right. It's all gone.
Little juice. That's
Because
it.
the thing is, when you're cooking a steak like that, if you cook that fat proper, it is fantastic.
Yeah.
It is truly, as much as I hate to say this, and people are going to be like, no, you're disgusting. It is actually the jewel of the steak, is that properly cooked fat.
Yeah.
When you put it on a grill and you can get that fat to caramelize,
Yep.
and you get that snap out of it, that crispiness out of it, oh, it's amazing. A little blackened and snapped. Oh,
What falls into the same way with, what are those weird things you people eat? Missouri dominant pork.
Pork chops?
Pork steaks.
Oh, pork steaks. Okay.
I hate people that trim the fat off of them and then cook them.
Yeah.
Pork is ultra lean, right? You need that fat in
Yeah.
order for that to be a good thing. If you cook a pork steak with the fat trimmed off of it, you know what you have? The bottom of my shoe. It's dry. It's hard. It's disgusting. And then to make up for it, you put some nasty, sugary sauce on it, and then you claim how good it is. Shut the hell up.
You know, I've gotten to a point where I don't even use sauces anymore. All I use is rubs. That's it.
You know what's funny is I use more sauces on not meat products than I do on meat. The exception of that being my favorite meat of all time. Now, I know you guys are going to give me some shit. Here it comes.
Bologna.
Well, I was thinking like not processed.
Cheap hot dogs.
Well, those are my favorites. But for non-processed stuff, I like chicken legs and thighs. I like them on the grill.
Nothing wrong with them.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I like them.
See, I like it's funny you say that because I like the quarter. So
Yeah,
you get
the whole quarter.
thing.
That's fine. And I like to take that and I put it on the grill. I marinate it for about 3 to 4 hours before it ever touches a grill. And then while it's on the grill, I cover it in one of the smoking butt sauces. And what I really like to do is I like to do essentially half a chicken, right? Leg and thigh. And I like to do 2 of them in each flavor of the smoking butt sauces.
Okay.
That way throughout the week, because I'll eat those like tomorrow and the other. That way you always have a different flavor profile, and that's what you get. The holy jalapeno, or no, not holy jalapeno. The
Jalapeno onion.
Jalapeno onion.
The hotter one.
Habanero.
Apple.
I love it.
Let me tell you what.
It's my favorite.
You get a chicken leg nice and crispy, and you just keep basting that on. That kicks the shit out of Buffalo Wild Wings in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
You do know how to get the skin crispy, though.
How do you get it crispy?
You use baking powder in your shake, and I've taught you this before.
Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure you still do.
Yep, that's still how I do
it.
it.
Baking powder on it, and that'll suck that fat right up, and that skin will crisp right up.
And it is fantastic.
That habanero apple was fantastic on a pork steak.
I tell you what, I like it on grilled vegetables.
It's really good on that.
Well, I tell you what I did the other day. I actually finally tried it. I took a bag of that the steamed fresh broccoli.
Yeah.
Cooked that up. Well, didn't cook it up, but, threw it in the microwave, cut it open, poured bold inside there, and shuck it up. That was good.
I bet it was.
On that broccoli, though, try it with holy jalapeno. I don't know what it is about the holy jalapeno, but you put it on vegetables and soups like that, and it just, all of a sudden, it just
I used
comes
the holy
alive.
jalapeno in my chili.
I mean, it's just amazing what it does.
So I took because I was kind of playing a couple weeks ago. I always, whenever I cook something, when I grill something, I always like to take an onion, skin the onion up, but leave it whole, wrap it up in foil, and put it down on the coals.
Yeah.
Okay? It rides throughout the grilling process. When you pull it out, it's done. You put butter in there with it, whatever. Okay? So I did butter, salt, and pepper, and I did one with jalapeno and onion, and I did the other one with the habanero apple, which I can't remember. So I used a white onion because I knew that the flavor was less on the white onion, so it'd really pull that flavor in. Dudes, it was friggin' fantastic. So what I did is I then cut it, and I served it with the sauteed mushrooms I had also made, and I put that on top of the steak I'd cooked. Fantastic.
Now, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Next time you do that, wrap your onion in bacon.
Well, okay. Break my leg.
I took
Damn, I don't know.
I took
Try
white
that
onion.
one out.
I took white onion and cut it about yay thick, almost make it like a little onion steak.
Yeah.
Sprayed it with duck fat, doused it with sweet fire, what's it called?
Sweet heat?
Sweet heat,
Sweet
probably.
heat.
Yeah.
Doused it with sweet heat, threw that on the grill. Ooh.
Then what you do then, once you've done that, is get you a whole take a pineapple and cut you some pineapple steaks.
No.
And do that with a Valdez onion. Oh, my God. Those two pair up like you wouldn't believe. You wouldn't think so, but those two will pair up and a little
I do like grilled pineapple, though. Pineapple on the grill is really good.
Yeah.
Everybody says, oh, but the best way to cook a steak is in a skillet. No, I disagree.
Ew.
Best way to cook a steak is on fire.
Might be the
On a-
fastest way to cook it on a stove
No,
with a
it's
cast iron
just,
skillet,
if
but it
you
ain't
don't
the
have,
best.
I love that flame-kissed flavor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, when
So
I do
good.
prime ribs on my grill, they far superior to anything that comes out of an oven.
I would imagine. I want to get me a rib roast. I mean, prime rib roast.
That sounds.
Well, guys, I'm out of recipes.
All
Okay.
right. Well, that's fine. This was actually pretty fun. These were good recipes tonight.
And the show flew by, too.
Oh, yeah. It was a fun show tonight.
It was all right.
Very much.
You know-
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Obviously, go check out SmokeaButtsBBQ.com. Get yourself some sauces and rubs. SmokeaButtsBBQ.com. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
See you guys.